And to really understand the participation of women in political groups without actually contextualizing that within the political, economic and social changes that took place in the last few years and decades actually. And one of the main reasons for the regression in the participation of women in political parties and political work in general is the difficulties in understanding the overall objectives of where Palestinian society is going. So the current political culture is one of confusion actually. So women acquire legitimacy in political participation and social participation through their participation in the struggle itself against the occupation. Now that with the absence of the struggle against the occupation, it seems that the justification for women participation in politics is not as strong as it used to be. So obviously women would gain more if we go back and focus our objectives in resisting the occupation basically and trying to have one united society that gives legitimacy to the various groups, and through that we could also influence policymakers to provide sort of legislations that provide equality. The other thing is that in general, participation in political parties had declined in Palestinian society in general for men and women equally, and it went down from about 30% who declare that they are part of political groups to about less than 10% actually in the last few years. And that decline is general, men and women, which reflects the disappointment of the work of the political parties themselves and their inability to deliver, one, on the national cause, and second, on change within Palestinian society. 10% was about 1996, and now in 2009. So that the secular nationalist groups were unable to provide an alternative that actually delivers political and social and economic results. And that failure gave way to and space to the rise of Islamist political groups that sort of tried to hijack the agenda of women and actually exploited women through religion to gain even more power. The gender gap is huge, where much more women vote for the Islamist groups than they vote for secular political groups that call for equality between men and women, and that has historic reasons. One of them is the ability of the Islamist groups to penetrate the social services sector, where they were extremely efficient in providing services for women, widowed women, orphans, and that was mostly in the charitable sector. And the other thing is that Islamist groups had access to the mosques and religious institutions, and through that, and in the absence of institutions that cater to